Hi everyone, welcome back to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith, and in this episode we're going to be continuing and probably finishing our playthrough of Theseus the Dark Orbit. And once again, we're being joined by Matt Evans. Hey Matt, how you doing?
Doing good, thank you.
Well, I'm really glad you're here because I've been going a little bit crazy since the last episode. I resolved that I would not look at any of the viewer submissions. And looking at the board, I just knew there was a whole bunch of different things that could happen. So I've been trying to plan ahead a little bit, but I haven't really been able to settle on anything because I don't know what is going to happen. Did you get a few good suggestions there?
Yeah, actually, there were quite a few good suggestions, and a few of them were seemingly simple up front, but then were followed up with what's going to happen a few turns after that, which I really like. It kind of shows what's unique about this game. You get to think like multiple turns ahead, which I like.
So I don't have to just worry about this turn. I have to worry about several more. Great.
Yes.
Great. Well, listen, I'm going to make myself wait a little bit longer because I know that you've been working on your own video channel. And this is really funny because when I invited you on the show, the channel didn't exist. So this is just coincidental timing, but I wanted to give you a chance to talk a little bit about it. Can you tell us something about it?
Yeah, actually, thanks very much. The show is actually called Board Game Replay. It's kind of think of it as a post-game sports wrap-up show that you see after a football game or something. But it's basically going to be sitting around a table with a bunch of friends just after we finish playing a game, and we're kind of go through strategies, mechanics, things like that, but mostly just kind of go over our experience with the game and kind of highlight our favorite moments. And we're actually going to kick back to like instant replay sort of exciting moments and things that we found fun. Because just as a group of friends, we just love playing games, and we just love that interaction, and that's kind of just what makes board games special for us. So we hope to share some of that with the viewers as well.
That sounds really neat. And I know I've already subscribed, so I'm one of your first, if not your first subscriber.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. And listen, I hope my viewers check it out too. I'll put a link in the description of this video if you're interested. But now what I'm interested in is what's going to happen next. So can you tell me who got the most votes with their suggestion?
The suggestion came from Lone Longboarder 27. He would like me to move my Marine in the corridor sector 2 spaces into your alien sector. And I know this seems like a simple turn, but he's got more that he noted afterwards, which I really liked. So
you want to share some of that now, or?
Well, he was hoping by doing this is going to trap you from being unable to move anywhere except this control room sector. You're basically locked into going there unless you burn some of those gateway, or you burn your gateway card. So I like this idea. I think it's good, and I'm going to, what I'll tell you right now I'm going to do, is by moving my Marine into that space, it's going to trigger a lesser Onslaught as well.
That's right, because once you fill up the last room in a sector, a lesser Onslaught is triggered. So it's an Onslaught, but it only happens in that specific sector. Mm-hmm. So you're going to get to do some damage here, right?
That's right. I'll do 2 wounds to you.
Okay, yeah, and so let's just look at this here. So we've got one Marine here, and it can only see this alien, and it has an attack strength of 1, so there's 1 damage. This Marine can actually see 2 of the aliens, but again, he only has an attack strength of 1, so at most he can only wound 1 as well. So that's a total of 2 wounds. Not bad. I'm going to put myself to 9 life points. All right, what else you got there?
I've got no action cards, and I can't do anything in your sector for sector actions, so I'm going to go to the pending cards phase, and I'm going to grab my landmine card off the top of my deck, and I'm going to bump out your vent shortcut card. Get rid of it.
Rats.
I know how bad these aliens can get when they start circling the board too quickly with those vent shortcuts, so I want nothing to do with that. Get them out of here. So I'm going to put my landmine right there.
This card is great because it gives me the option to skip the sector that I install this into if I want when I'm taking a move action. So I can get around this complex a little more efficiently, but not anymore. Thanks a lot.
And I revealed battle position on the top of my deck as well, and that does it for my turn.
Okay, well that was a good turn and a good suggestion. I'm going to give myself just a couple seconds to look at the board here and figure out what I want to do. Okay, Matt, I see what Lone Longboarder was really up to here, because you're right, he's really limited my options for movement. If I move either of these 2 aliens that are in my sector, they're going to have to go 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Puts them in the control room. And then I have this one lone alien, can only move 1 space, also puts it in the control room. I don't want to go to the control room, so I have one other trick up my sleeve, thankfully. I am going to use my gateway bonus card, and what this says is during your move, you can go 1 sector further. And this is going to create a little interesting chain of events, I think. So I'm going to move the lone alien that I have in the corridors. He's going to go 2 sectors over, and he's going to land in the alien sector, but it's full. So now I'm going to bump one of your guys out into outer space, hitting the ejector pod. I'm going to take the Marine you have in sector room 4 there. Okay, I'm going to bump him into space.
Mm-hmm.
Now the other nice thing about this is that it triggers a lesser onslaught. And I have 3 aliens here, and all 3 of them have a direct view to your Marine. You noticed that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a total of 3 wounds. So I'm getting a little bit of payback here.
Yeah, we can take it.
But you're still at 13, so I'd like more payback if possible. Not yet, later, I guess. Okay, so I don't have, there's no action cards here for me to trigger, but I am in a sector that I can take a sector action with. I'm going to collect an upgrade token, and I'm going to drop it right now on my Hive card that's sitting in the corridors. Now that Hive, what it says is 1 wound to the enemy. So when you land there, you get 1 wound. But now that it's upgraded, you're going to get 2 wounds. And pending card phase, I'm going to toss out this landmine. I really would like to install the Ghost Strike, but I cannot stand this landmine. So I have to get rid of it. It's gone. And an Onslaught card, which is really great, is going to go in its place. And so on top of my deck now, Matt, I have the hidden card revealed.
Okay.
So I feel like I gave you a lot there to deal with. I'm going to let you have a chance to think about it.
All right. Okay, so that last turn hurt a little bit, but still got a plan here.
That was a power turn, Matt. That was a power turn.
Yes, it was. That was definitely a power turn for you. But it's not over yet. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Marine that's in the tech bay, and I'm going to move him just 1 space, and I'm going to put him in room 2 of the Marine sector. And for the action card phase, my action card is not relevant to the action card phase, but the sector action phase, I'm going to grab an upgrade token, and I'm going to use that to upgrade the Marine that is in the sector with all of your little alien friends over there.
Don't forget about your Marine in space. You could always upgrade him. A little gift for him while he's floating out there.
He's lower priority right now. Okay. So I'll upgrade that other Marine, and for the pending cards phase, I'm going to take that armory card that's in the Marine sector, and I'm actually going to install it in the Marine sector.
Okay. In the middle position, or?
I'll put it right in the middle position, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to grab the battle position card off the top of my deck, and I will place that in the pending card slot, and it's going to reveal ambush on the top of my deck.
Okay. All right. Well, you've set things up nicely. I'm kind of jammed up here. I'm only in 1 sector, so that's probably going to hurt me a little bit. It's going to hurt me a lot, actually, in terms of my choices, but I'm still going to see if there's anything else I can pull off. Okay, it didn't matter that I had time to think about it. There really is only one thing I can do here, so I'm going to do it. It's my own fault. I boxed myself in. I'm going to take the alien in room 1. There's something that is sort of a decision point. I have to decide which of these aliens to move, and that could have an impact. And I also have to decide what room to leave it in. So it's going to go 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, and end up in the control room. I'm going to put it into room 1. And there's no cards here that I have to take advantage of. But for the sector's action, I'm going to take the malfunction token off of your Onslaught card and put it right back on it.
That was nice of you.
That's a legal move, and that's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to install a card. I'm going to install these tentacles. I'm actually going to put them right in this control room sector. And I'm going to put it... Yeah, I'm going to put it in this control room sector here.
Okay.
And that's going to put another one of these reminder crescents here. And I'm going to have to put out another card. Oh, I've only got 1 card left in my deck. We're really getting close to the end here, Matt. The hidden card is going to be in the pending card slot, and underneath of that was Ghost Strike. That's my turn. I feel a little unsettled about it, but nothing I can do now. It's over to you.
All right, thanks. All right, so I got a pretty good idea what I'm doing my turn here. I'm going to start this out. I'm going to use this malfunction card to move the malfunction token. I'm going to discard that card. I'm going to take the malfunction token, and I'm going to place it on your Hive. Totally disables the card from the game, and I bet you can tell what I'm going to do next. I'm going to move my Marine. Move this Marine in the Marine sector. I'm going to move him 1 space. I'm going to put him into room number 1 of the corridor sector, and that is going to trigger an Onslaught, since there's no trap there anymore. And that's going to deal you 2 wounds because of your aliens and my Marine in the alien sector.
That's right, because now he's upgraded. He can attack up to 3 aliens, and he can easily see 2 of them. 2 more wounds.
All right. And I've got no action cards in that space, so in the pending cards phase, I'm going to take my battle position card, and I'm actually going to install this in your sector. I'll put it right in the middle slot of the alien sector.
Kind of tempting me to use my sector action there to throw it out.
That's the idea.
That will be tempting. Gosh, I don't like having to make that choice. I guess that's what you're up to.
And then I'm going to put my ambush card into the pending card slot of that sector, and that's going to reveal battle position for me on the top of my deck.
Okay. Huh. All right. Well, at least this time I have more than one sector I can travel to, so I have a decision to make. Oh, Matt, I feel like I'm in the thick weeds here, man. There's tempting options everywhere, and I don't know which one to pick. So here's what I'm looking at. I could move this alien into the alien sector and trigger a lesser onslaught and be able to do 3 damage to you right away. I could also just chuck your battle position card, get one of my own cards installed. Look, I got an onslaught sitting here. And that feels like the right thing to do, but there's some other part of my brain saying I need to spread my aliens out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the alien that's in room 3 of the alien sector. He's going to get to go 3 sectors. Drop him into the corridors, into room 2. Okay?
Okay.
So instead of being able to do 3 damage to you, I'm going to get to do still 2 damage, so that's not too much of a sacrifice here, because I can see this Marine and this Marine. So I'm going to do 2 damage to you, bring you down to 11. Then, for the pending cards phase, I'm going to throw out your ambush card. That feels like a good thing to do. And I'm going to put in Ghost Strike.
All right.
And now I have no cards left in my deck, so the next time I take a pending card action, we're going to have to get that end token out and put it on the board here. And I'm not really interested in rushing the game to a conclusion yet because I'm not in a winning position. So, well, Matt, that's my turn. Man, I hope this works out for me, but I got to turn it over to you now.
All right, so I think I know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to grab my Marine that's in the alien sector, and normally he would move 2 spaces, but thanks to your tentacles, he's only going to move 1 space, and he's going to land right in the tech bay in room number 1.
Okay.
Tentacles actually help me out here a little bit.
Yeah, I know. It's a double-edged sword for me, right? Because it slows you down, allows you to maybe get into a space you want to get into.
Like the tech bay. So he's going to land there, and I'm going to trigger the action cards in that, which is an Onslaught, which is going to deal 1 wound to your alien.
That's right. This
that
one
is
right
over
here.
In the corridor sector there, yep.
So I'm at 6 life points.
Mm-hmm. And then the sector action phase is basically is an extra turn. And so I'm going to use that extra turn to grab my poor Marine that was out in space. I'm going to bring him back in and drop him into room number 4 of the corridor sector.
Okay, so he drifts back in. I don't know how he found his way back. That's pretty impressive, to be honest.
I'm impressed, yeah. It's good. And that's basically going to do it for my turn because I don't get any other phases because that's my whole extra turn bringing that guy back.
That's right.
Yep.
All right, well, back over to me. All right, Matt, I got just a little tiny turn coming up here. I am going to move the alien in my sector, 1 sector over, in where you are. I'm just going to come in right neighborly next to you there in room 2. But I'm now going to get to trigger one of my action cards, the Ghost Strike. It says I can activate attacks of 1 of my units in any sector, and I get to ignore walls. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I'm going to trigger the alien here, and he's got line of sight to your guys anyway, even with the walls being there. So that's going to do a total of 2 damage to you. So that's nice. It's evening the score a little bit. Once I get onto the sector action phase, though, I get to take another turn with another one of my units, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one who just did that damage, he's kind of hitting and running here, okay? He's going to scurry away. He's going to run 3 sectors over. He's going to come into the tech bay as well. He's going to go into room 3.
Okay.
And guess what he's going to do?
Probably going to activate that Ghost Strike.
He is. That's right. And he gets to ignore walls, remember? So he's also going to, well, I'll just trigger this alien here, the one that has an easy view, all right?
Okay.
He's going to do 1 damage to you as well. So now it puts you at life points of 8, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I'm in the tech bay. You know what that means. I get to take another turn. So now I'm going to move this alien in the control room. He's going to come over into my sector. I'll put him into room 1. And
All right.
I am going, there's no action cards, but the sector action, I'm going to get rid of this battle position card. Okay, we're going to discard that.
Okay.
And then for the pending card phase, I am going to install this Onslaught card. I'm going to put it in the control room, into the last remaining spot there.
Okay.
Now here's the problem. I have no more cards to put into that slot. So we have to put the end token here onto the control board, and we're now marching towards the end of the game. I figure closing the gap like this, I maybe have a shot, so I'm not too worried about doing that, but I'm still a little bit worried. I'll probably be more worried after you take your turn, so I'll let you get to it.
All right, so we're really getting down there here. I'm getting really nervous as our hit points have gotten closer and closer.
Me too, Matt. I really am.
I got to take what I feel is the obvious choice here, and I got to get that Marine in the tech bay out of there before you hit me with another onslaught with that other guy. So I'm going to get him out of there. I'm going to move the Marine in the tech bay. I'm going to move him 3 spaces, and he's going to land in room number 1 of the control room.
Okay. Number 1.
And I have no action cards there, but I will take the sector action phase to pick up the token on Hive, put it right back down on Hive.
Ugh.
Too risky for me to be taking 2 wounds with Hive right now, so I'm going to keep that disabled.
Sure.
And for the pending cards phase, I'm gonna chuck your hidden card. I'm gonna get rid of it, and I will place my battle position card in this place, and that reveals ambush on the top of my deck.
That's the last card of your deck too, I think, right?
That is the last one. Yep.
Okay. Well, I got some plans. I think I know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to give it one more look over. All right, Matt, I'm going to try to do a little more damage here. Need to close the gap just a wee bit more. I'm going to take the alien in room 3 of the tech bay. I'm going to move him 2 spaces into the corridors. I'm going to put him in room 2. I want to have a nice clear view of all your Marines, because I'm going to trigger an onslaught here, and that's going to cause 2 damage to those Marine, which ties us up. But I also have a hidden card ability here in the control room where your Marine is, and this little token reminds me that this gets triggered during my onslaughts, and it's going to do an additional 1 damage to you, because I had a hidden alien in that room. So that puts you at 5. And now for my pending cards phase, I'm going to install Ghost Strike, and I'm going to put it in this corridor room.
Okay.
All right, and because I cannot replace that card with a card from my deck, I'm going to have to advance the end token, and now I'm a little more comfortable with that happening. How you feeling, Matt? You feeling like it's a little close to call, isn't it?
Yeah, the tables have definitely turned. I had a nice lead on you for a bit.
Well, it's razor thin now, the lead, so I'll turn it over to you and see what you come up with.
All right, so this is going to be a good turn for me. I'm going to finally push back some of those wounds.
All right.
First, I'm going to grab my Marine in the control room, and I'm going to use the Gateway card for him this turn. I'm going to give him an extra movement, because he's going to need it. I'm going to move him 2 spaces into room number 1 of the tech bay.
All right.
So when he lands there, he's going to go to the action card phase, and he's going to trigger my Onslaught action card, which is going to deal 3 wounds to you.
That's right. We got these 2 here can see an alien, and this one can see an alien. Puts me to 3 life points. And you're not done, because you're in the tech base. You get to take a whole other action again.
Yep. So with that action, I'm going to take the Marine in the corridor sector in room number 4, and I'm going to move him. He's only going to be able to move 2 spaces because I'm moving through the tentacles in the control room, and I'm just going to put him into the alien sector, and I'll put him in room number 2.
Okay.
And that, I'm going to go to the pending card phase. I'm going to throw out your Ghost Strike, and I'm going to place the last card of my deck, Ambush, in its place. That's it.
That empties out your deck as well.
Yep, I got no cards left.
Okay. But we're not going to move the end token, because you still had at least a card to put in. All right. And remember, players can skip the pending card phase, so if you feel like you're not in a winning position, that might be something to consider. At this point, whoever's winning, though, is definitely going to want to take that pending card phase and push the end along.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, Matt, it's my turn now. I'm going to think about this a little bit.
All right.
Okay, Matt, I know what I want to do. I am going to take the alien that's in room 2 of the tech bay. I'm going to move him 2 sectors over. He's going to land, let's see, I'll put him in room 3 of the corridors. So the very first thing I do is I trigger action cards. I have a Ghost Strike here, and I can activate attacks of one of my units. I'll activate this neighbor right here, actually, and that's going to cause 1 wound against that Marine. So you're going to drop to 4 life points.
Yep.
But now the good part. I'm also going to get to trigger an Onslaught in this sector. So this alien in the corridors can see your Space Marine. There's also an alien over here in my sector that can see a Space Marines. So that's 2 wounds. That puts you at 2 life points. But I also have a hidden little token here to remind me. It's going to pop out during this Onslaught and cause 1 wound here as well. That puts you at 1 life point, Matt. That's crazy.
I did not see that many wounds coming. I mean, I kind of saw some wounds coming, but not 4.
Yeah, well, listen, I want to point a little interesting rules thing here. I'm not sure if we really covered this in the instructional video, but it's a good thing to point out. You'll notice here there's no cards in the corridor sector, and I have no cards in my deck. So I can't voluntarily say, I'm going to draw a card from my deck and stick it in here. Oh, I don't have one, so now I'm going to push the end token along. The only time you can push that end token along is if you've installed a card from that sector and then have to replace it, or if you're throwing away an enemy's card and have to replace it. So I don't get to move the end token along. We might not have to. One of us might actually end the game just by removing all the other players' life points, and that could be you, Matt. So I'm going to turn it over to you and see what you can come up with.
All right, I didn't plan out this turn too much because I think I can win just from a quick look at it. So are you ready for this?
Are you sure you don't want to plan it out? I mean, this is kind of important. Are you that certain? Is that what you're saying?
I'm pretty confident on this one.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to start out with my Marine that's in the alien sector. I'm going to move him. He normally would move 2 spaces. He's going to move 1 space because the tentacles are going to slow him down. Again, I'm loving those tentacles in this space.
Yeah, this is really not helping me. What room?
He's going to go into room number 4.
Okay.
And that's going to trigger my action card, the Onslaught card. Yes. And I'm going to deal 1 wound to your alien down here in the corridor sector.
Okay, right here. Well, that's not a big deal. All right.
Yeah, but then what comes next is I get a free turn, essentially, and I'm going to move my other Marine, the Marine that's in room number 1.
Yes.
He's going to hop over 2 spaces and land in the corridor sector. And before anything else happens, we're going to trigger a lesser Onslaught.
Yeah, no, I see it all now. It's all crystal clear to me here. So a lesser Onslaught here causes, this guy's going to do 2 damage. This guy's going to do 1. That's a total of 3. So that puts me into the -1. Then the corridor triggers another Onslaught.
Correct.
Right, everywhere. So they do another 3 damage to me. Yeah, so basically there's just alien guts all over this vessel. Matt, well done. Congratulations. I am surprised. I really felt like at the beginning of this episode, turn after turn, I was mounting a comeback. In fact, I felt like I was past you. I was going to be able to push this thing to the end. And I just didn't have enough steam to do it. You were able to get those final damage points in there. Well, how'd you feel about that, Matt?
Oh, man, I got to be honest with you. I was sweating those last few turns when you just came out of nowhere and 4 damage one turn and then 3 another turn. And you caught up to me. I had like a 5 or 6 point lead when we started tonight, and now, man, that you caught up really fast and put the pressure on quick. And I mean, I won by 1 point. It was a seriously close game.
Yes, if we don't count the negative points I accumulated,
sure.
You won by 1 point. You're a real gentleman, Matt. Thank you. Well, and that's the interesting thing, right? Because you kind of look at your aliens, you know how much damage approximately they can do, but then you have all the effects of the sectors and the rooms and the cards, and all that just piles in as well. So, no, listen, Matt, I want to thank you again for joining me and doing this with me and helping me sort of show how this game is played. I think this was probably my favorite time playing this game yet in our matches. Even though in the first match I won, I just thought that was really, really kind of a clinch ending, and I really enjoyed that. So hopefully you watching get a good sense of how the game works as well. If you have any questions at all, of course, don't hesitate to put them in the comments below, and I'll gladly answer them as soon as I get a chance. And of course, go to the description of this video and check out the link to Matt's channel. Matt, once again, thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I had a great time.
Okay, excellent. Well, listen, to all the rest of you, until the next episode, thanks for watching.